तेरी गांड में तेरी लाइफ थी।
ले तो शांत रहो
आपको
तुम। चुप चुप अभी चुप अभी चुप अभी चुप अभी चुप 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 एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट।
you grow up?
What? What?
भाई ऐप से वो नहीं हो रहा था.
Oh,
What?
Paimon was looking forward to meeting yours.
What?
Hey, don't suppose your brother has an imaginary friend too?
What?
No way!
अरे नहीं मतलब
You
ऐप
guys
से
are so
ऑडियो ऑन नहीं
lucky.
हो रहा था. वही हम
Because
सोचे
they
आवाज
have this
नहीं आ
game
रहा.
Liyue. Have you heard of it? It's a
What?
4-player game, but it seems you guys
कुछ
could
ज्यादा
play it
आवाज
with
आने
just
लगा.
the two of you.
What?
Oh, Traveler.
Shut up.
Fancy meeting you here.
What?
Fancy meeting.
Tone deaf bard.
What?
What are you doing here?
Don't dare bard.
I'm here
No,
because
no,
Lisa has been making
Primos.
some exciting new contraptions.
Why does the thought of Lisa's contraptions make Paimon so
हमारा आवाज
nervous?
थोड़ा सा बढ़ा देते हैं.
Come now, that's no way to speak about the elegant Miss Lisa. For this
Oh my
particular
God.
contraption,
देख ले
Lisa
Venti
had
का
to
नाम
import
खोल
some dangerous materials from Sumeru.
इनका लोड़ा.
Dangerous?
अरे बाप रे गांड फट गया.
That's right. Looks like a monocle, but actually it's called a Nernama detector.
हेलो गाइस,
Sadly, Lisa
हेलो
isn't
हेलो
able to
हेलो.
use it herself.
कोई चार
So
पांच
I'm
लोग आ
borrowing
जाओ
it
यार
for a
लाइव स्ट्रीम
while.
पर. इसी
And
भरोसे
also,
से आज
I'm
हम लाइव
testing
स्ट्रीम
it
ऑन
out for
किए हैं
her
अभी
to see if it
वर्टिकल
actually
वाला.
works.
Huh?
हेलो.
Why can't Lisa use it?
हेलो.
Perhaps it's
Yeah,
because she
actually
lacks a
bad
certain
yeah,
childlike sense of wonder. Or maybe there's some other reason for it. If you want to know for sure, just ask her yourself sometime.
So you can see
मेरा
them?
मन कर रहा था.
Go
बस
on, tell us. What does his
मनाने का मन करे तो
imaginary
मना
friend
लीजिए.
look like?
हाँ.
मन करे नहीं करते मन.
That would be
मन
telling.
कर रही है मरा ही जाके.
Anyway,
नहीं
it's
करेंगे
all
हम.
yours
मेरा
now,
मन
Traveler.
मेरा
Take
मन
a
हम मन नहीं
look.
करेंगे.
See if you can see Nora's imaginary
मन की
friend.
माइक.
Do you see him?
ओह
Do you see him?
ओह वो आत्मा है.
So it does work for you too.
Paimon wants to
ओ
see
फक
it.
हमको भी देखना चाहिए वेंटी का स्टोरी
But
पे.
this gizmo isn't in Paimon's size.
Oh.
Alright then, you'll just have to be Paimon's eyes on the ground. Let's go see what everyone's imaginary friends look like.
आइमन का आवाज ऐसन कैसन. वेंटी अपना merely 0.01%
Flora from
power
the
use
flower
करते हैं.
shop always seems kinda floaty-headed. You know, Paimon bets she has an imaginary
वो
friend.
लोटी है डर.
क्या यहाँ पे टेलीपोर्ट वे पॉइंट. हाँ.
Don't know. Bitch, there is supposed to be a fucking thing over here. It's chest, but it's not over here. Why? Do you have explanation for me?
हमको क्या पता.
What the fuck? Who the fuck is supposed to know
तुम
that?
एनिमो सिजिल आज पूरा दरदड़ा दिया क्या रे? Enchant.
What?
Nice.
What? What?
क्या हुआ?
आप ही ना बोला कौची बोल रहे थे सुनाई नहीं दिया.
कुछ नहीं बोल रहे थे.
There it is! Behold,
बोल
a
रहे थे.
floaty imaginary friend for floaty-headed Flora! A bloaty floaty!
Flora. Oh,
Wait,
booty floaty. What?
imaginary friends can be plants now?
हाँ.
Hi, Traveler.
कौन कह रहे हैं? हाय बार्ड. पता चलेगा नहीं बार्ड कौन है तो गांव
Sure. How can I help? Oh, you mean Mr. Floaty? Most people can't see him. Mr. Floaty is my bestest friend. We grew up together.
लो
No fair.
which प्यार है
Paimon hates feeling left out.
Flora, why exactly are you friends with a bloaty floaty?
What's wrong with it?
Flora.
I always
Now
wanted to be
what's
friends
happening?
with a plant who could fly.
Friends with a flying plant? Why?
Just don't.
Because then when it's windy, you and your friend can fly off into the sky together. You gotta admit that's
okay.
pretty cool.
Don't
Wait
say
a
it.
minute.
Don't say it,
Being
bitch.
blown away.
That's what some people like to call it. I only found out
नहीं,
this
नहीं,
plant existed from an explorer who told me stories of his adventures.
फ्लोरा नाम है
I
तो
think his
बोलने
name
बोलते हैं
was
नाम उसका फ्लोरा.
Stanley.
Stanley? भाई तो टपक लिए ना.
Stanley's
Oh,
an
shit.
adventurer. And you can tell he's an expert
जब
at it
तक
from the
उठे तब तक
stories he
मार्वल का
tells.
मूवीज बहुत अच्छा आता था.
The Amazing Adventures of Stanley are
Also,
super famous in
अभी मार्वल
Mondstadt.
का मूवी अच्छा है
He's
बस
in the
खाली
city at the
आयरन
moment.
मैन
You
आयरन
should go
फीमेल
ask him
सब
to tell
कुछ
you
में
some of his
लड़की डाली
stories.
वही
That
तो
sounds like a fun idea for next time.
है।
But right now we have other things to attend to.
पता नहीं सबका जेंडर परिवर्तन करना क्या ही जरूरत है। ये वो क्या लाया है? आयरन हार्ट। बहनचोद का टीन के डिब्बा कार्टून दिखाई पड़ती है। आयरन
Which
मैन की
child shall
लेगेसी
we
को कैसे
interrogate
कंपेयर करेगा
next?
पता नहीं ये सब।
पता ही नहीं आयरन हार्ट कौन है वो? एम्बर हार्ट सुने थे आप?
How about that little guy on the bridge?
आप कबूतर नहीं मारने दिया और ये बहनचोद।
मार रहे ना कबूतर गांड फाड़ देगा एक दिन
Well,
लोड़ा के साथ मिलके।
that is unexpected.
Timmy's imaginary friend is a ruin.
Ruin guard?
Paimon's freaking
Ruin
out right
guard?
now. That thing is sure to attack us.
उसका नाम इतना अच्छा कहाँ है?
What say you we
Tikro
postpone
Fulwana,
our conversation
Tikro
with Timmy for the
Vingana.
time being?
बहनचोद ये वेंटी भाग रहा है।
Paimon has a favorite line? Seriously? Oh, alright then. How
रुइन
about
गार्ड से डर
explore
गया
the
ये सब।
area ahead
बे
of us
यार
later?
छी भाई। हट।
Children are more
नहीं वेंटी अपना रियल
open-minded.
पावर दिखा दे तो
Is
चुदी
that
लग
why they
जाएगा
can
यहाँ
think
का।
up all kinds of imaginary friends?
Fitting, isn't it? That the city of free
वेंटी स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट है आर्कॉन्स में से।
freedom should be home to children with
सबसे
such
strong तो
boundless
नहीं है ना।
powers of imagination.
स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट ओल्डेस्ट आर्कॉन है।
ओल्डेस्ट भी नहीं, सबसे ओल्डेस्ट भी जोंगली ही और
What
सबसे
about
स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट भी
adults'
जोंगली ही है।
imaginations?
वेट
Let's ask
यू
some
आर
adults in the
मिस्टेकन।
tavern.
जोंगली 6000 साल पुराना है।
नहीं इसका एज आर्कॉन का एज भले ही जोंगली से कम है बट इसका खुद का एज जोंगली से ज्यादा है।
What do you mean by that?
The thing about wine is,
मतलब जब
you
ये
have
आर्कॉन
to
नहीं था
drink it at
तब
the
का एज
tavern,
इसका
or you
जोंगली से
miss out
ज्यादा
on
है।
half the fun.
Seems to
तो
me
सब
you'd
थोड़ी
find some way
आर्कॉन
of
था।
keeping yourself amused even if you drank alone.
The fuck?
If I didn't know any
What the
better,
fuck?
I would say you're being deliberately uncivil.
You little N?
Just drink responsibly on my premises, okay?
क्या
Okay.
खाया?
Oh, and if I did have one too many, what then? You'd throw me out along with the trash, is that it?
Yes.
Throw
Ew.
you out?
You know, the same way you threw out Father's legacy. You sold off
Wow,
his
that's-
mansion. Or maybe you
भाई यहाँ पे पर्सनल रोस्टिंग
I
क्यों
see
चल रहा
no
है?
reason to cling to things that have outlived their
उसका
purpose.
फादर भरा हुआ है
Is
उस
that
दिल
so?
हार मार
पता
रहा
Then
नहीं
I trust you were
काहे
most
काया यहाँ पे
swift
रोस्ट कर रहा है, वो भी
indeed
उसके
to
बाप
part
का
with a
नाम लेके।
certain vase.
वो भी
Sorry.
उसके बाप काया को
I have
पाला है।
no
काया का
recollection.
बाप कानरिया से आया
That's
काया को
odd.
काया के मतलब
Master
दिल उसके
dealer,
बाप के घर के
I'm
सामने
sure
रख
I
के
saw
छोड़ दी।
such a vase in your home. A
बहन
beautiful
चोद भाई
one.
हम तो ना चाहते
Unmistakable,
हम
in
चोद
fact.
देते नॉट लिटरली
Yuck.
माँ चोद देते
Yuck.
उसकी।
यक यक वो आपको उल्टा लटा के छोड़ देता।
काया
हाँ
that
Seems
nigga
our
motherfucker।
suspicions were right. Grown-ups
दिलुक
don't
देखता
appear
तो वो
to
भी
have
कहता था एंजॉय।
imaginary friends.
Like I
अब
said,
वेंटी
a
तो
lack of
वेंटी तो
childlike
ऑलरेडी पी
wonder.
ही रहता वो तो क्या भग पे तो हम पूछो ना गाड़ मार दो।
So people just
She
stop
went.
dreaming when they grow up?
और
Okay,
बच्चों
well,
हवा से गाड़
Paimon,
मार
for
रहे
one, never wants to grow up.
लटका लटका के छोड़ देगा।
This raises an interesting question. At what age exactly do
Ooh,
people's
big gun
imaginary
like I
friends
am.
disappear?
हट बेंच।
Let's go and check.
बताओ जब हम सामने घूम के हम पैर तक नहीं भाई 2 घंटा से उसमें बैठा।
How about Ellen?
यार जिनसन
Someone
प्लेयर
of her age surely must have some imagination left,
जिसल प्लेयर
don't
क्या
you
गाड़ दे
think?
देंगे बेंच चोद।
we
Uh-oh.
don't bath
Somehow Paimon finds the idea of not being able to see Ellen's
I bath.
imaginary friend kinda
I
scary.
bath like once a 3 month isn't that amazing
तुम क्वार्टरली हैं?
but
क्वार्टर ऑफ अ ईयर हैं?
yup I save water you motherfucker
ए
otherwise what would our children drink if I have any
बहन चोद ओ बहन जो जीन भाई लेकिन
यो,
जीन
what
तो
the-
जिंदा थी जीन
अरे बहन जब उसका बस
what is
परसोना है
Jean
लौड़ा
doing
लसून के
here?
मत करी
Is
अच्छा,
Master
गाड़ी लाओ,
Jean
sorry.
Ellen's
Okay.
imaginary friend? So she's so
imaginary
determined to
friend है
become a
मर नहीं
knight
गई
that
जी
she... Okay, that's kind of
सॉरी
weird.
सॉरी I was wrongly
hello.
mistaken.
What are you guys doing?
Zhongli.
Are you always training here?
Yes.
You bet. Today, I heard
You
Stanley
bet.
talking about his
Bet
adventures.
मैं लोड़ा.
It was incredible. It got
भाई
me
तुमको भी
really
क्वालिटी
pumped
थोड़ा
up.
गिरा गिरा टाइप दिख रहा है.
I hope I can be
नहीं,
as
हमको एकदम
outstanding as
maximum
him one
quality
day.
दिख रहा है.
So
गिरे
that
हुए
you
आप.
can fight shoulder to shoulder with
हमको
Master
मैक्सिमम क्वालिटी
Jean?
का नहीं, मेरा नेट स्लो है का.
I mean, obviously, I want to become a knight. And if I got to go on an
भाई
adventure with Jean
एक भी व्यू अभी
herself,
तक नहीं
well,
आया.
even better.
तो हम क्या करें?
Seems Ellen
Ellen is
really
just trying.
looks up to Jean.
जो तुम्हारे कहने पे हम स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं.
छोटा ऐसे नहीं
Huh.
करते थे, ऐसे गाँव
Thanks.
बनाते थे.
I was thinking,
तो हम वर्टिकल
it's
स्ट्रीम
not
कर रहे हैं
every
तुम्हारे
day I
जो
get to
कहने
hang
पर.
out
इतना
with
क्रिंज
the
फीलिंग आ रहा
honorary
पता नहीं
knight.
कहाँ है हमको.
Would you join me for
The
some
fuck?
sword training? How can I smash all these training dummies at once?
स्मैश करना.
मैच करने के लिए ये ठीक रहेगा. दे दें गाइस का
नहीं,
बस्ट.
नहीं, इस time नाविया करिए नहीं पाएगी. बस दीजिए गांड में आइए कुछ करिए.
तो किसका बस्ट वाला है, मतलब लिटरल वो फटता है बेंचो.
राइडन है ना. वो आपके पास नहीं. सो सॉरी.
बहन के लड़.
यो मियाँ निकालेंगे बेटी चो.
अच्छा ये मियाँ से हो सकता है
We're
क्या?
companions!
यो मियाँ भी लान नहीं फाड़ने वाला. Wait, what?
So that's how to do it.
बेंचो.
Oh,
क्या
thank
हो
you.
गया? लंचेटी के
It's
फार्म
clear
आ
I
गई.
still have a long way to go in my training.
हो गया
So
कंप्लीट.
modest. I, for one, think you're quite the
Thanks,
pro at this already.
Oh, well, I'm exhausted from training, so clearly my fitness needs
गुरु
some work.
थॉर्नी सिस्ट है कि मेरा
One
गांड
day,
मारे वाला
though,
सिस्ट है.
I'll
बहन
smash
चोद.
all the training dummies in Mondstadt.
Ellen, she's our girl. If she can't do it,
हिली चर्च.
Jelly Churl.
बेंचो.
Thanks.
कितना हुआ याद
Shoot,
पोयम
I
था.
got so caught up here I
Hug
forgot
the
there's
Paimon
something I was
Zamund.
supposed to do today. Ugh, but I'm
fuck?
so sore from
Sorry, I
training.
did not mean that.
I can hardly move. Honorary
Good
knight,
eye.
could you
Yep,
deliver
you
a message
bet.
to
I
Jasper?
इसका भी स्लीप्स कनेक्टेड
no.
नहीं है.
Mother chod.
He's a
आजा
friend of
कभी
mine.
एक तो.
Recently started as an adventurer. We were gonna meet up tonight and discuss adventure plans. Could you let him know it'll have to be another day?
आपका नहीं.
If I'm not mistaken,
Adventure.
you should find him at the Temple of the Lion. He's
आया का
adventuring
माउस ही
with
लगा हुआ
Stanley
है का
today.
अगर नाम लेते रहे यार दा.
Stanley's a truly legendary
भाई.
adventurer, renowned in all of
आप मौसी बना
Mondstadt.
लीजिए आपने
He
नहीं
once
ना.
set foot in the Mare
कहा है
Javari.
चलते फिरते करो मौसी बना लेंगे.
Great. Thank you so
आपको
much.
मौसा बना लिया तो.
Nah, that's not possible, motherfucker.
Motherfucker, what do you mean by that? एलियन की माँ का भौंचड़ा. Oh, sorry.
हाँ डोमेन में लेके जा रही है हमको. हाँ.
खोपचा में चोट चंदन. अग्गे मैया कितना मजबूत हो सकता है कोई. हमको दिख रहा है कि इसमें 10-10 हजार मोरा है एक डोमेन रन में. बोलते मोरे नहीं है.
कौन बोलता है मोरा नहीं है? ये वाला
चूतिया.
करना.
स्टैनली वाला करना है. स्टैनली वाला करना है.
वही वाला तो कर रहे हैं
हमको
चुतिया.
The Temple of the Lion? We
Oh,
explored this place once before,
I got
didn't we?
Venti, eh?
During the storm terror incident.
मजा आएगा भाई वेंटी यूज
Seems
करने
like
का.
it's now a hot
होल्ड
spot
करके
for
रखिए गांडू. होल्ड
adventurers.
करके.
That can only
इसका
mean
E skill hold
one
करके रखिए.
thing. We didn't bag all the loot last time.
अब आप यहाँ पे फ्लोट कर सकते हैं. है ना?
Looks like we
Exploration
can't
के
go
लिए
any further.
इसका बर्स्ट
Not to worry.
वो ब्लैक
Allow
होल
me.
देता हूँ. सॉरी.
Those who wander in the dust, the wind shall send
Hi,
soaring
dear.
sky high.
कुछ ही हुआ हक दिए.
हाँ.
इवेंट थोड़ा देर तक रहता है. टेंशन नहीं लीजिए. वेंटी है गॉड ऑफ.
हम जाओ निकाल लेंगे.
चूतिया तो है.
अरे ऊपर चल.
लिफ्ट चूत गया क्या? नहीं बच्चा. हमको लगा लिफ्ट चुदा आ गया.
क्या क्या गंदी गंदी बातें करता है बेंचोद.
अच्छा हाँ. देखकर आपका ऑफ स्क्रीन आवाज रिकॉर्ड करें. डाल देंगे.
क्या जी?
उसके बाद
Wouldn't
एक
gliding
बार
be
आपका
faster?
ऑफ स्ट्रीम आवाज रिकॉर्ड करेंगे, डाल देंगे आपके पापा के फ्रेंड्स ग्रुप।
पापा बोलेंगे वाह
तुम्हारे चूत बच्चा।
बहनचोद उसके मुंह पे मारे वो उलट गया।
मुंह पे से मारेगा तो आप लुटिए रहे।
Yeah.
अरे यार मिस कर गया हूँ। अरे मजा आ रहा है। एक बार और।
भाई क्यूट सा हिंदी चल प्यारा।
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
भाड़वा पना का हाथ पार कर। अरे जमीन पे मारिए ना, वो लोग क्राउड कंट्रोल हो जाएगा। अरे उसका ई मार दीजिए, हवा में उड़े लगे।
Yahoo!
याहू व्हाट द फक।
Boring. Coming at ya.
हवा में फेंक देवे कहते वेंटी। वेंटी है वो।
Brace yourself.
What yourself?
Think you can get away?
Brace yourself.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
बहनचोद ये क्या हो रहा है? बहनचोद
चलो वेंटी।
बहनचोद ये क्या हो
Here we
रहा
go.
था?
बस पायरो सर हो गया था गांड में उसके।
बहनचोद
इसी में कभी इलेक्ट्रो सर्ल हो जाए, कभी कोई और सर्ल हो जाए, सोच सकते हैं आप क्या होगा।
वहाँ पे हमको भाई इधर चेस्ट था
Are
क्या?
those guys?
देखें अभी वेंटी को क्या कर सकता हूँ।
चेस्ट था क्या यहाँ पर? नहीं था।
I do not know।
Yeah.
अरे यार ये पानी बहुत इन्फेक्ट कर रहा है, गांड फट जाएगा मेरा ये पानी में रह गया ज्यादा देर तक।
Shower me with praise.
Time for takeoff.
अब हम यूएमिया से कराते हैं फायरो सवार। अरे बहनचोद सही कैरेक्टर है बे, हम निकाल रहे हैं इसको। कब आएगा ये?
गॉड है भाई। अब हम क्या करेंगे, आर्कॉन है, जल्दी है रीरन करना चाहिए।
पता करते रहना, यो निकालेंगे। बहनचोद क्या है तो स्पाइरल में मार चोद देगा ये आदमी को।
तो
To
क्राउड
be fair,
कंट्रोल
that could have gone either way.
काजुहा
So,
ज्यादा अच्छा है इससे,
you
but
must
ये
be
इसका
Jack the
स्वर बहुत
Adventurer, I
सुंदर है।
assume?
Yes. Who are you?
Actually, we came looking for you.
Ellen has a message for you. She said she won't be able to join you today to plan out your next adventure together. She'll join you some other time.
Oh, I see. I feel bad you had to come all this way to find me, and then had to rescue me.
Huh? I don't see what all the fuss is about. It was nothing that I, Stanley, couldn't have dealt with by myself.
फाइनली हम इसको कर दिए ठीक।
You are Stanley? You were that legendary adventurer? Renowned in all of Mondstadt? Who once set foot in the Mare Javari?
हैं?
ज्यादा नहीं चोद दी बड़ा।
Very same.
फूल का
I
फूल
must
और ही हो
say,
गया।
it's an honor to meet one as legendary as yourself. Lovely. How would everyone like to proceed? Head back or head further inside?
फूल औड़ा है भाई।
I think we should keep going. With Stanley by our side, we'll have no problem.
Okay,
ये
motion
बहनचोद
passed by
हमको सब
unanimous
चीजें
consent.
बचाएगा।
Let's head further in.
वेंटी लाड़ता के लगी।
अच्छा जीन को पता है कि नहीं वेंटी कौन है?
I'm guessing you
भाई
mostly
जिनको
came here
उस टाइम
because you
पता
want to
चला
hear
था
my
ना, गांड
adventure
फट गया था
stories.
उसका जब
Am I
दबा
right?
कंट्रोल में आया था।
No, we really were just
Yeah,
looking
right.
for Jack.
वो कब कंट्रोल में आया था?
What? Do you know who I
तो
am?
मॉन्स्टर का क्वेश्चन
I
हार्ड
am
याद नहीं।
Stanley, renowned adventurer of Mondstadt.
अरे इसके मुंह में दे दीजिए यार, बहुत बतेगी
Yeah,
चोद
I
रही
think we
है
got
स्टैनली
that.
माई के बुढ़ वाला।
Well, your attitude says maybe you don't got that. I am Stanley, the living
फिर
legend.
बकेट
Stanley who
हम मुंह में
braved the
देंगे
Majavari.
Enough already. Ugh. Stop name dropping
अभी तो
yourself
पागल
every time you open your
दे
mouth.
रही थी।
It's true, though. Stanley is the most amazing guy.
Will
मोस्ट शूटर
Jack
गाय इन द
will
मॉन्स्टर
listen,
लग
won't
रहा
you?
है ये।
बहनचोद ये सब
Where was
फिर अपने अपने बूझ जाता है।
You and your partner reached the Mare Javari, a famously terrifying place with not a wisp of wind.
अरे जल्दी जल्दी बात
precisely?
ना होगा।
There was a deathly silence in the air. A sea of ashes stretched out before us, as
Sea of
far
ashes.
as the eye could see. The edge of
सही
our
बोला, जल्दी जल्दी मारना था।
Suddenly, my partner was caught in a whirlpool whipped up by an evil beast. Luckily, I managed to grab hold of him just in time.
Wow. So, did he make it?
Sadly, in the end, I alone was able to set foot on home ground once more, where the gentle breeze carried away the tears welling up in my eyes.
Poor guy. How could that happen?
Jack, you can't cry so easily if you want to be a great adventurer.
I know.
अरे कोई इसके मुंह में लंड दो मादा तो बहुत बोल रहा है
is to die in the course of their final adventure.
लग रहा है कि तुम भेंटी के ब्लैक होल के गांड
But whatever happens, no adventurer should ever die in a place where the wind doesn't blow. The wind has to bring your spirit back to Mondstadt.
That's right. To die in a place where the wind blows, and to have your spirit carried back to Mondstadt on the wind, that's the dream.
Yeah. Although, the most I can aspire to right now is beginner's commissions, like clearing out the slimes, clogging up the...
In the lost of time,
Traveler, I believe I've made a small discovery. Could I ask you to use the Nernama detector once more?
अरे बेंच उसके साथ में एक और है
क्या है
स्टैनली के साथ में
What?
imaginary
Stanley has an imaginary friend?
It seems his imaginary friend is a seasoned warrior, covered in scars from head to foot, and a look of staunch determination on his face.
गांड फटा हुआ है
You're saying his imaginary friend is an idealized version of his own self? Interesting idea, but is it true?
Please excuse me. I'll be leaving now.
okay you leave motherfucker
Bye, Stanley.
बाय स्टैनली गे है क्या एकदम
Do you two still have time to spare?
What is it?
नो
A few days ago, Stanley got drunk and told me a secret. Something he's never told anyone before. The weapons he took on his adventure all those years ago. They were none other than those once wielded by Mondstadt's greatest hero, Vanessa herself. The sword of brilliant valor and the shield of magnificent honor. I don't know whether you believe me, but apparently, both the sword and shield are still right here in Mondstadt, over in Dadaupa Gorge. Since you guys are the experts at this, can you come with me to try and retrieve these two legendary weapons? You bet! This is Stanley we're talking about. If I can just get a hold of something impressive enough to show my family what I'm capable of, maybe they'll finally come around to the idea of me being an adventurer. Right now, I'm just a rookie. My abilities are limited, and my parents don't support my goals one bit. So, what do you say? Help a guy out? I can't bring myself to tell Stanley about it, because my reasons are so... selfish. But I swear I'll give the weapons back to him as soon as I'm done.
Aw, poor Jack. Let's help him
तुम
out.
थोड़ा कस के बोलेगा
तू बोलेंगे
हाँ
Venti, you coming too?
बोले
हाँ बोलो
I don't know.
Oh, one other thing. I have a bottle of rare vintage wine that I had someone fetch for me a couple years ago. Help me find these weapons, and it's all yours.
Dadaupa Gorge, was it? Let's hurry. There's no time to lose.
देख रहे हैं एक दारू का बोतल के लिए वेंटी मान गए
अरे स्टैनली सब सुन रहा था अरे बहन चोद बहुत तेज है भाई
एडवेंचरर के झांट है तो
हाँ
कोची को
5 को प्रिमोजेम दिया इसकी माँ की
कोची
5 को प्रिमोजेम दिया प्रीशियस चेस्ट
मॉन्स्टर का प्रीशियस
छी बहन चोद
मॉन्स्टर लिगा में हगल चेस्ट मिलता
हम ना कर रहे दोनों को एक्सप्लोर माँ चुदा है दोनों एरिया
पता चला वही दोनों एरिया बच रहा है जैसे कि मेरा मेन एरिया एक्सप्लोर कर देना जुमा खत्म
सबसे ज्यादा इनाजुमा मिलता है क्या चलो 7 ये अपग्रेड करो बहन जो 60-60 प्रिमोजेम
अरे उससे ज्यादा इसमें मिलता है फाउंटेन
फॉन्टेन में उससे भी ज्यादा मिलता। सुमेरु तो पेनी नया सा।
मेरू पेन ही नया है बट प्रीमोजेम्स काफी है। इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि प्रीमोजेम्स के लिए गांड मराते फिर रहा।
तुमने तो क्या कहा? हम यहाँ यूला से आकर वहाँ चोट चुके हैं।
What? What the fuck, man? बहन चोद फोन चार्ज में लग गया था लेकिन फोन का चार्जर ही ऑन नहीं। फोन का बेंच गांड पड़ गया चार्ज में लगाओ फिर।
Hey, that bunch of
क्या
archons!
चेस्ट है क्या?
Are they holding some kind of ceremony? And what's with that
He's
pile of
exploring the
magnets?
tower.
Are they worshipping them?
Seems so.
What are you guys gonna
That
give
must be the
when
sword of
it
brilliant
explodes
valor,
the
surely.
tower? Area unlock हुआ क्या tower? हो गया इसी का तो इंतजार था हमारे को।
Lo and behold, the sword of brilliant
प्रीमोजेम दो
valor.
है।
Are you sure? Looks kind of basic to Paimon, and a little worse for wear, too.
Standard
Why would
चीटियां
hilly
बना दी।
trolls be bowing down before a piece of junk like
Wow,
this?
precious chest. Holy shit.
Seems somebody tossed an old sword into a pile of spoils these hilly trolls were already celebrating.
This is in terrible shape, and it's so basic. I'm at a loss for words.
Say, Jack.
हेलो
have you
भाई
ever
जो
seen
कोई भी
an
देख रहे हो
animal
स्ट्रीम
crystal
पर एक बार
fly?
हाय हेलो कर दो
They're
यार।
found in the open country around Mondstadt City. If you saw one in broad
कर दो।
daylight, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. But in the
तुमको
pitch
छोड़ के।
blackness of night, its brilliant
दोनों
glow
में।
is mesmerizing. It truly resembles an exquisite crystal dancing in the night air.
Any problem?
Is valor not the same? When everything is going your way, it seems meaningless, fades into the background.
Thank you.
But when you're in dire straits, valor is the thing that gets you
तो
fired
40
up and
Primogem.
fighting back. It's
और
the
this
brilliant
bullshit.
ray of light that
Just killing
guides you
2 or
out from the
3
darkness.
Fatui.
You're right.
Damn, man.
You're right. Then this has to be it. This is the sword of brilliant valor.
So, we got our sword. Now we just need that shield.
Venti de
Let's
चुतिया
scout
बनाया गया
around. It's definitely in Daruupa Gorge, so... Huh?
Venti को बोला था दारू पिला दो
There's somebody
और
there.
खोज देंगे। वेंटी को नहीं पता
Stanley?
वैसा लग हो सकता है।
What's he doing here?
He's acting so weird.
What happened? Why did you stop all of a sudden?
देखना लाना नजर आ गया
Oh,
इसके।
it's nothing. Just one of those
Ventic
more
तुम कह
spouting
देना ना,
weasel
हम
thieves
ना जान
pass
भी
by
नहीं
is
करते।
all.
वो तो दारू
What?
चाहिए
Where?
को।
I want to see.
हाँ
Maybe
गलती से हम
another
डोंट
time.
रिकमेंड दिस चैनल
We
कर
have a
दिए।
shield to find, remember?
अब अपना चैनल होगा आपका भेजो।
अच्छा नहीं अंडो कर लिया नीचे में अंडो आया था।
Useless.
अच्छा वो आ गया नहीं तो चैनल का नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है ऐसे ही चैनल माइनस में है।
Hey there! Hiya!
एचपी बार बॉस की तरह आया था मारे था नॉर्मली मर गया। The fuck man?
Boring.
This was
हाँ।
not acceptable.
Fuck you motherfucker सुअर। बैन करोड़ा हमको ओवर पार करने आ रहा था इसकी माँ की चूत।
सुगर मार रहा है।
साला सुअर आ रहा था मेरे तरफ दौड़ते हुए हम जाओ से
Lo and
उसके गांड में घुस के
behold,
नहीं
the shield
उसके
of
बॉडी कार पर हो
magnificent
गए।
honor.
Are you sure you are all right? Are you sure you are
Europeans
not
on
losing your
fire.
mind?
It's a chunk
नहीं
of
नहीं गांड
wood.
में नहीं घुसे थे।
A chunk of scrap wood with the handle attached.
हमको तो अब
Who
ऐसा
in
ही
their
बोला
right
कि
mind would
गांड
use this
अरे बोलने
as
में
a
बुला जाता है
shield?
बेंचो।
There's also
I don't
wine
think
stains
about
on
that.
it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was just taken from a wine barrel.
And
लौड़ा
yet,
होंगे
my
यहाँ पे।
bard's intuition tells me that this is none other than the shield of magnificent honor. Warriors wear their battle scars with pride, and shields are no different. Surely an intact shield is one that has shied away
दारू
from the
पिए के मारे
battlefield.
गए।
Is not the broken and splintered shield the one that has fought
एक
in
बोतल
countless
दारू
wars
लगी।
and lived to tell the tale? Though the soldier's body be tired and torn, still they fight till the very end, till they have no blood left to bleed. Such magnificent strength of will. Is that not the true meaning of honor?
You do have a point. Shiny new shields don't stay new and shiny for long. Okay then. Well, maybe if we ask
हमको
nicely,
क्या लग रहा है
he'll
कि
just let us
वेंटी
pick
झूठ
the
बोल रहा है?
shield of magnificent honor for
लग
free.
रहा है अभी तक आपको लग ही रहा है।
हाँ।
Ahem.
अगर आपको अभी तक
Excuse
लग रहा है
me,
तो कुछ चूतियां
Mr.
हैं।
Hillychurl?
What the fuck? Excuse me, Mr.
What?
Hillychurl.
Okay, you
बोलता
take
है
it from
दाला?
here. Hope you've picked up some Hillychurlian by now. If not, there's always body
विन प्लाता
language.
दादा। ये भी दबा के देखो। मौसिमिता।
That's cheerful enough. Maybe
कितनी
negotiating will
मौसिमिता?
work after all.
हीली चल से नेगोशिएट कर रहा था कितना चूतिया हो सकता है।
बादाम।
Oh, he did not seem to appreciate
इसको भी
that.
कच्चा बादाम रील्स का एडिक्शन हो। अंजलि
आए रिल।
Oh, he did not seem to appreciate.
गाना रील थे।
Oh
एवेंचर।
no, we ticked him off
काफी
big
उम्मीद है
time.
हमको कि आपको गांड चूते।
हाँ, हमको गुस्सा गुस्सा दिला दिया बेचारा।
Yoo-hoo!
दिला दी कि मेरा झाट उखाड़ लेगा।
खास जगह तो आपको रोते रहिएगा रात में।
क्या हो गया? लड़ लिया मादर चोद। हैं? बेंचो तो बच्चा की तरह नाच नाच के रोने लगा।
Hey, he dropped the shield of magnificent honor and ran.
Guys, thank you so much. I can't believe I actually found them. Mom,
हेलो ब्रो,
Dad,
जो कोई भी
check
देख
out
रहा है
the
यार, एक बार
legendary
हाय
weapons
हेलो
I
करो
found.
यार, शिवम के अलावा। भाई दो का वॉचिंग आ रहा है
Hey,
लेकिन देख
wait!
ही रहा है।
The wine, you promised!
यूट्यूब आपका
Duh,
चूतिया
and I
बना
actually helped a lot this time.
भाई एक बार कुछ तो चैट में लिख दो।
What
पता
are
तो
you
चले
doing
तुम
here,
कौन हो।
Stanley? Out for a stroll?
Hey, what are you doing here, Bard? Fancy that, huh? You, out for a stroll too?
Oh, that's right. An after dinner stroll to be precise. We were also helping a friend look for something.
Paimon's starting to think Stanley might be a fraud. Did Stanley plant the sword and shield here in advance so as to not hurt Jack's feelings?
Adventurers must be pretty familiar with Dadaupa Gorge. You fought battles here before, after all.
You better believe it. I can navigate this whole area with my eyes closed.
Wow! Then I admire your perseverance. And your memory, too.
It's only to be
Actually,
expected of a great adventurer like me. You guys had better watch out. though.
पता नहीं
This
क्या
place
है।
is crawling with
पता
hillage.
रहेगा सब शांति हो जाएगा।
I'll get back to my
नहीं इतना भी नहीं।
stroll now. Goodbye.
सच्चे आग देखो।
Guilty conscience much?
Well, he shouldn't have gotten so carried away bragging to Jack, should he? Although, on further reflection, I must say I'm intrigued. Someone who can't let go of the past and gives up on the present instead. I wonder, if such a person was forced to take their first step towards the future, which way would they go?
What are you talking about?
I'm just
God है,
musing
God
to
का will
myself.
है।
Anyway, I propose we take a trip to Angel's Share tonight.
ओके।
दारू पिए जा रहा फिर भाई सुधरेगा नहीं वेंटी वेंटा फिर दारू पी के रंडी रोना करेगा पक्का बोलो
रोएगा। रात में बुला रहा है ये।
अगे मैया देखिए बच्चे के रहिएगा
हम भी अपना तलवार लेकर जाएंगे। बोलेंगे और तलवारबाजी कर दे।
गई
देखते हैं किसके तलवार में कितना दम है। लेकिन भाई उसका ज्यादा मजबूत होगा।
नहीं उसका तलवार है, हवा का होगा, फूक दीजिएगा बिखरा जाएगा।
दैट्स अ नाइस आइडिया। तो
जोंगली से
पंखा
मत
चला
लड़
देंगे।
जाएगा तलवार। जोंगली से तलवारबाजी मत करिएगा, मुंह उड़ जाएगा तलवार का।
Boring.
पंखा चला देंगे, अपने उड़ जाएगा।
जोंगली का तलवार का बात कर रहे थे।
नहीं फिर रहने दो।
भाग जाइएगा अगर ऐसा सिचुएशन में कभी धारा है तो।
हम
इन्हें
बोलेंगे भैया माफ कर दो।
इन्हें एक इन्हें की कह रहे आज आज माल से गड़ो फाड़ दूं।
उल्टा
नीचे
हो
से
जाएगा।
डालेगा अपना तलवार, ऊपर से निकल जाएगा आपके कान में।
दोनों इंतजार कर रहा है एकदम उसके
Tell me,
पिकेट टून
Stan.
होने का।
Tell me, what should I do?
कुछ तो बगल की चोट देगा वेंटी है
Why
ना।
does he keep repeating his own name? Could there be another person called Stanley?
Oh, Stanley.
Stanley these
It
nuts.
should have been me. I should have been the one to die in the Melchivari that day. Why won't your spirit come and stop me from using your name? Why, Stanley? Why?
हाँ स्टैनली नहीं है।
If only you hadn't had to save a rookie like me,
हम सोचे कि
you
बता
would have
दे
never
लेकिन पूरा
died in that
स्पॉइलर
windless
गंदा
corner
मिला।
of the world. You were a renowned adventurer, destined to become a legend one day.
वेंटी का
But
तो
now-
पता था कि नहीं है।
That'll never happen, because your life was cut short, and all because of a worthless tag along.
Does anyone get what's going on here?
I think our
मैंने
friend
literally
really
क्या
did make
सिखाया।
it to the Mare Javari. And I think the tragedy he encountered there was real too. But the real adventurer, the real Stanley, that was his partner, not him. The real Stanley is the one who died to save our Stanley.
Wait, so the only reason our Stanley is called
पाइमन
Stanley
का
in
आवाज
the
आपको
first
थोड़ा
place
अलग-अलग नहीं
is
लग रहा
because
है?
he stole the other Stanley's name?
I fear that may be the
वो
case.
तो वही एकदम कान में चुभने वाला आवाज सुनाई पड़ रहा है।
For so many years
थोड़ा
I've
अलग
lived
सा
in
अजीब
fear.
सा लग रहा है उसका आवाज।
Fear that Mondstadt will forget all
एगो दोस्त
about
के
us.
पास यहाँ पे
आवाज अच्छी।
एकदम
So
प्रॉपर
I
ला
tell
माइक
you
है।
adventure stories at every
तो
opportunity. Mondstadt must remember. Stanley
YouTuber
reached
है?
the center of the Mare Javari.
या
सोच रहे
The
टिकटॉकर है?
greatest adventure there ever
सोच
was,
रहे हैं
and
उसका
he
माइक
lives
उठा के ले
on.
आए।
Stanley will never die.
वो करता क्या है
Because
जो माइक है उसके पास?
I am Stanley. I
उसको सिंगिंग का
am
शौक था
Stanley.
इसलिए माइक लिया था।
I'm sorry, Stanley.
वो टेबल वाला माइक नहीं होता है जो सेटअप पे सेट किया जाता है
Now,
स्टैंड के साथ में,
Damn, nigga.
वो वाला है उसके
are
पास।
you guys planning on eavesdropping much longer?
मेरे तरफ बाप का पैसा बर्बाद करता हूँ
We're busted.
अरे बहुत अमीर है उसका बाप।
भाई मेरा बाप तो बहुत गरीब है। हम लोग कर
हम भी ले लेंगे, हम भी
Go
देखा एगो
away.
अथीला माइक ले लेंगे।
Save your questions.
कॉस्मिक बैटर कितना माइक आ जाएगा रे उस टाइप वाला
Leave me in
गेमिंग
peace.
वाला?
But
आपके बाबूजी बहुत अमीर है ना?
Leave
अरे
now.
नहीं पैसा
Don't
बचा
make me
बचा
tell
के।
you again.
Honorary Knight, Venti,
हम तो माइक के
and
बारे में
Paimon.
सोच भी नहीं
I'm so
सकते
glad you
जिंदगी
guys are here.
कभी।
I've been
फिलहाल
looking
तो
for you
जाएंगे तो
everywhere.
कॉलर वाला माइक
I
उठा के
wanted
ले
to
आएंगे
thank you again for helping me find the sword and shield.
घर से।
Okay.
My parents are finally
Ah
supporting
fuck,
me.
हम इसको ट्रिगर कर दिए।
Oh,
बहनचोदी।
really?
वर्ड
Yeah,
क्या कहते हैं
really.
उसको? वो
They
है
even
कल
said
ले
they're
चलेंगे।
gonna pay for
गांड
someone
ले
to fix up the
गांड
sword
ले
of brilliant
बाप,
valor and shield of magnificent honor for me, so I can take them out on the road.
झुकना नहीं।
That's wonderful. So,
भाग
Jack,
गए गांड से।
is this the part where you bid farewell to Mondstadt and set off on your intrepid trip traversing to Vat?
वो गांड नहीं
No,
लगा रहा
not
था
yet.
पहले।
I still don't have what it takes to
वही
go too
कहना है,
far from
पंखा
home
हवा
just
में
yet.
क्या उड़ रहा है? हम लिमिट लगाई भी नहीं की।
Besides,
Yeah,
I'm sure
just
Stanley
actually-
still has a few stories left to tell.
हमको लगा लिमिट लगा लोगा लेकिन बीच में
They're what
laptop
inspired me to
limit
become an
क्या जी
adventurer in the
limit है?
first place.
लगा।
Stanley,
गांड लगा।
Oh,
तुम्हारा कितना
you're
हवा में
drunk
उड़ा जा
again.
रहा है जो।
We'll see you tomorrow then.
90
After your
touch
hangover
करेगा।
wears off. Maybe you can tell me some more of
What?
your stories?
CPU
What?
हाँ what
Stanley's really fond of that kid, don't you think?
टेम्परेचर।
Yes
Jack.
नब्बे वाट में पिघल ना जाए हाथ में ना
Yeah.
जाए CPU
Jack left.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for not telling him about my secret.
Huh? All of a sudden you're facing the facts? That isn't like you.
Just now, I couldn't bear to look at him. His adventurous spirit is so pure, unblemished. I'm just a weary old feckless fraud. But that kid is a brand new shining star, full of potential. I cannot allow his dreams to be crushed.
This is
You're not a
something you would
total
never hear
fraud.
from your father.
Stanley's adventure stories and experiences. They're all true, aren't they?
Am I right?
पता नहीं।
Stories,
Yes,
experiences.
you will never.
What's the point of them anymore? To be honest, my
You
memories of
will never
adventuring and
remember
of
it.
Stanley.
क्या बोलता है कल
They're
उसका माइक
hazy
उठा के
these
लाएं क्या एक
days.
बार मारते हैं ट्राई
That's my biggest secret of all, and my
Why
biggest
not?
fear.
नहीं
All
कर
these
सकते।
years, I've been
काहे हम
living to
मना
tell
थोड़ी
his
किए
story.
हैं, हमारा डिसीजन है
But his
थोड़ी। आप
personality
जानिए
and
माइक उठाइए गाँव
the
उठाइए।
details of his life, I don't remember them clearly anymore.
देखते हैं माइक से कितना अंतर पड़ता है।
But the one thing I can
वैसे
never
मेरा आवाज
forget
अभी कैसा आ रहा है?
is that he died in a
Good.
windless land, where his spirit can never be recovered.
बहुत धीरे बोल रहे हैं, लिटरली मेरे बगल में सुतले वो सुतले हैं।
Exactly.
तो
Even in his memory,
उठेगा ना तो
the
क्या
real
समूह दाब देना।
Stanley isn't the living, breathing friend he knew at
नहीं नहीं
all.
नहीं मुंह में
Instead,
लॉक मुंह लॉक
he's
कर दे।
become fixed on the image of
अरे
him as
नहीं ना
that
जैसे ही
battle-scarred
वहाँ
warrior.
करता है करेगा
And
कितना
that
क्या से मुंह
image
दाब
has
देना
held
काम
him
ही खत्म कर
captive
दो
his
बहन चोद।
entire life.
बूतरू
I'm
नहीं
too
ना है।
old.
कौन है?
I never let go. But still, so
You
much has
did not
slipped away.
remember that?
I'm
अच्छा उस
completely
दिन जो
and
वो
utterly
एकदम पकड़
worthless.
के
No adventurer should have to
Yeah.
go that way.
ओ तो
Maybe
जगाओ
not
ओ
very
उठाओ
fast.
ओ
Ever.
पागल है क्या?
Ah, fuck.
Hans
Mother
Archibald.
bored. Again, her mother and
My
father
true
left
name?
her
How did you know?
to get some milk and never got home.
The wind.
क्या हुआ? टैली का गांड फट
I
गया।
can hear the wind blowing in the Mare Javari.
ये अपना दिखा दिया क्या कि कौन है ये?
I always believed.
हाँ
You
लगता तो है।
existed.
Will you
मुझे
hand
लगता
me your
नहीं है,
old
दिखा
friend's
दिया।
spirit?
वेंटी बहुत अच्छा आदमी है भाई। ओ भाई। मेरा दिन भर दारू पी के मरल रहता है।
I can't believe it. Thank you all. And thank you, Lord Barbados. I'm
Barbados.
sorry. It's gonna take me some time to calm
Lord
back down.
Barbados.
But I think that I'm
मारो
gonna be
करेगा
okay.
वेंटी और गांड फाड़ देगा वो।
तीर
और
मार
आ
देगा
गया
गांड।
नहीं ब्लैक हो।
तो ये तो तुम
Ah,
श्रिंक हो जाओगे
wonderful.
अपने आप।
Stanley reconnected with his true
Hey, you
self,
what
and
the
Jack can finally go his own way. This
जैसे
calls for a
लोकी श्रिंक हो रहा
celebration.
था ना।
And by celebration, I do, of course,
लोकी?
mean
ये कौन है?
libation.
सीजन 2 नहीं
And
देखा?
by libation, you mean
Season
you're
2
not
कैसे होता?
leaving this tavern till
हाँ
you're too drunk
लोकी
to
सीजन
walk,
2
right?
बहनचोद मार्वल वाला।
No,
Equal
the
cheese
wine
है,
here's
local
too
loki?
expensive. Jack still owes me some wine, though.
ए
He promised
बहनचोद
me a
तुम तो
rare
उसी दिन देख
vintage
रहा
in
था
exchange
भोसड़ी
for
का
helping
चुतिया
him
बना
out,
रहा है।
remember? I'll head off to fetch the wine. See you
Let's
shortly.
have the burger.
Let's meet at the usual place.
इच्छा आपके मुंह के सामने
Huh?
देख रहे थे
Where's that
गर्लफ्रेंड
supposed to be? Why has Paimon never heard of it? Hey, Tone Deaf Bard!
ओके सी यू देयर जो दे
Hey!
है बेटा बोलो गांड नहीं मार ले मारा पाए मार डैडी बार बेटा कर
का है सबके बाबू बनेले चलता है।
आई गॉट caught off guard
भाई व्यू एकदम नहीं
without
आ रहा है। झाट कुछ नहीं आ रहा है व्यू।
पहले भी नहीं आता था।
तो ये आने से
वो
फायदा कहाँ हो रहा है मेरा? ऊपर से मेरा 70 मतलब 25% स्क्रीन कट गया है वो अलग।
आपका नहीं कट
नहीं मेरा नहीं कटा।
खुश रही
सदा
अरे
सुहागन
को
भवा।
फटुई आया फिर हमको देखा तो गांड बजा के भाग गया व्हाट द फक हाँ ये कौन फटुई है
बार बेटा उसके छाती पे मतलब स्टैचू पे चढ़ने के लिए हमको बोल रहा है। काहे जी?
मैंने स्टैचू पे चढ़ रहा है तो आपका गांड फट रहा है आपको उससे हैं
हमको काहे बोल रहा है चढ़ने के लिए? बहनचोद
चोट देगा उल्टा लिटा के स्टैचू पे चढ़िए ना खाली आप खाली चढ़िए आप
साला वो अपने बैठल है वहाँ पे।
अपन स्टैचू पर आपने ना बैठे
नहीं
जी बेटी चोद
You made it. Finally.
Just tell us where you meet next time, okay? We looked everywhere. So, did you at least manage to find your wine?
Yep. Well, sort of. Jack made it out to be a rare collector's edition vintage. When actually it's just a half bottle of regular cider. This takes me
चूतिया
back.
बना दिया यार
The first time I saw this view,
अरे
I
न्यूविलेट
hadn't even taken on this
अरे
form yet.
न्यूविलेट
क्या नहीं
बहन जो न्यूविलेट मेरा स्क्रीन देखिए न्यूविलेट
It was
What the
about
fuck do you mean by
2,600
Nuvelette?
years ago, before the world
न्यूविलेट
had come under the rule of the Seven.
क्या है दिखा
ये बहनचोद
At that time, old
Guys,
Mondstadt
जल्दी
was
आओ
ruled by a
आप, है ना?
tyrant who sealed off the city's perimeter with a ferocious hurricane. Even the birds couldn't
भाई
get in or
रिकॉर्ड कर
out.
सकते हैं आप कटसीन
Old
आने वाला
Mondstadt? Oh, Paimon remembers. Nowadays it's known as Storm Terror's lair, right? You mentioned it before.
That's right. The tyrant of the winds who once ruled
सुनिए
from
अगर
that
हम तो
tower was
लाइनें तो बहुत
Decarabian,
मस्त है ये सब
god
चीज
of storms.
Story
Back
God of
then, I was but a wisp among the thousand winds. I
डेकोरेवियन
wasn't
गॉड
a
ऑफ
god of
स्टॉर्म
anything.
था
I didn't even have a human form.
ओके
I was just a tiny elemental being who lived in the wind, a gentle breeze bringing subtle changes for the better, or tiny seeds of hope.
A tiny elemental being? Without a human form? Venti, do you mean you used to look different than you do now?
Yup. My current form is not so different from the situation with fake Stanley. I took the form of a friend.
ओह
In old Mondstadt transpired the story to be told, where a tyrant ruled. I met a boy not that old. The lyre he played, and for a song he sought. But storm walls blocked blue sky. He was sincerely distraught. I do so wish to see the birds in flight, said he, his strong eyes filling with light. But his voice was lost in the howling wind's churn, for the whirlwind takes and gives not in return. The true sky and songs that cageless soar, were they not wishes worth fighting for? So the boy turned,
poetry
extending
बोल रहा
his hand. Let us cast down the tyrant and his walls from this land. The young boy raised then the flag of revolt, and I threw myself into freedom's tumult. Victorious were we who fought to be free. Gods fell, winds whipped, nations shook violently. In the smoke, a despot met his doom. And we watched as his great tower fell none too soon. Mondstadt began anew.
डिलो का
The
बाबू
story
था
passed
लाल
down,
बाल वाला
and since then never has another worn its crown.
So then what? What happened to your friend?
he got fucked up
Say,
he
Paimon,
literally
do you wish to hear the next part of the story?
no
Yes, of course. The suspense is killing Paimon.
वेंटी का अभी
But
तक नेक्स्ट पार्ट
Venti's
नहीं
telling
आया
his
इसके बाद
story.
3
What
साल
makes
4
you
साल
suddenly want to have a meat feast?
हैं
Getting a little
Uh,
peckish or something.
ये समझ गई
I'm
लुमी
excited up to
लगे
here
साइमन
with you.
चूतिया का चूतिया रह
You know, you're
Lumi
so
समझ गई
smart it
बेकार है
almost
इसकी
makes me
दो
uncomfortable sometimes. But
Oh.
then,
Oh,
maybe it's
line
right
मार
that
रहा है
true
चीज़
friends
चीज़
can tell what the other is thinking. A refreshing drink, a gentle breeze. Moments like this always take me back. Back to a song that I first heard from him. Fly, fly away. Like a bird in the sky. See the world on my behalf. To the heavens may you fly.